Welcome back. This is Weeknights. I am JD, aka He Who Pods.
And I am Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B.
That's what we get today.
I'm going back to my roots.
Going back to my roots. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Is that because you saw what's Reading Rainbow's real name? Is it LeVar Burton?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like you were sure.
It's in a book, because I always get him confused with the other guy. Reading Rainbow.
It's only one guy.
No, there's another guy, and I always get the two of them confused because they kind of look alike.
It's only one guy. Only one.
I can't do anything. I think it is
Yeah,
LeVar Burton.
it is LeVar Burton. I was gonna ask, is that because you saw, LeVar Burton and what he said on Clipped? Is that why? You're going back to your roots?
I mean, he points were made. Points were made.
Definitely. Yes, they were. All right. Well, we got a review for y'all. We're gonna start there.
Yeah.
Clipped. Clipped is a TV show
On FX.
that FX/Hulu
Mm-hmm.
that finished not too long ago. It ran for 6 weeks. What did you say?
Sorry, I think it was last week, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was actually trying to look up just now.
Yeah, I think July 2nd was the last date.
Right. So, we needed a minute to finish it, but we finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here to talk about it. So, it was hard to get through. I'm going to just come straight out with the real. For those who don't know, Clipped is a show that covers the Clippers organization during the time when owner, at that time, Donald Sterling, was under fire for saying racist remarks about black folks. He told his girlfriend/personal assistant on an audio recording that she leaked out to the public that he doesn't want her with black people. Why do you have to bring black people to the games? Why do you have to take pictures with black people? Why?
Associate with them. He asked her why she spoke to Magic Johnson.
Right. He took a picture to make him angry. She took a picture of Magic Johnson. He didn't like it. He said some things. And most people know that story, but this was to talk about the things going on before and after that time period and the selling of the team, etc., etc. So there's your context. It's a 6-episode show.
Yep.
And it's all out now. I was waiting till it was all out to watch it. I did not watch it episodically. And I got to be honest, I'm glad I didn't. Because if I had to wait a week for some of these next episodes, I would have quit already.
I understand that.
Yeah, I'm not good with that. You got about 2 episodes to impress me, and after that, I'm out.
Yeah, I can understand that. It was... Some of the episodes weren't great.
I think episode 3 was the best episode.
Yeah, I could see why you say that. Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Episode 3, I was like, oh, okay, they turning up. This series might really be good. I'm getting a little excited. And then episode 4 came, and I was like, why are we doing a whole flashback episode? What's going on?
Yeah.
Weird.
So, I gotta be honest.
Be honest. Honest Monday.
Living through this scandal was way better than watching it on television.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I don't often say that because I feel like you get some good writers and a great production team and an awesome director, and you can make real life look real entertaining, real interesting. And we have seen that happen time and time again. I mean, I was what was the the late, oh my gosh, what was the lady's name? Damn. She dressed like Steve Jobs. Oh my gosh. And she's in
Oh,
prison now.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Holmes.
There you go.
Her story was compelling.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a good show.
That was a great show. Um, the girl from Plainville came out at around the same time. That was based on a true story.
I didn't watch that one,
It
but
was
I heard
very
good
compelling.
things.
It's also really awkward and uncomfortable because it's about teenagers. So it's not like it doesn't make you feel good to watch it, but compelling, highly entertaining. I don't have to go on and give you a long list, but my point here is usually when art is meant to imitate life very closely, it doesn't ever seem to me like it takes a whole lot for them to make it interesting because
Right,
it already was interesting.
right,
All they had to do was like package it up and pick some actors
right.
and like
Deliver it.
right, and they can take creative license because everything doesn't have to be real because it is
Everything.
television. This was not that great. This was I actually was more intrigued. I remember when this happened, when everything went down. I was far more intrigued listening to the podcasts I used to listen to back then and their commentary on what was going on and reading news articles about it than I was watching this miniseries.
Yeah,
It was kind of boring for the most part.
it wasn't great. I'm disappointed. I thought Lawrence Fishburne was gonna go in there and do his thing, and he didn't do bad, but just wasn't a great show in my opinion. It was probably a 6.
Yeah, yeah, I would give it a 5, 6. I don't know. I was really excited about this show.
Trailer looked good, but
It
they
did.
got me because this wasn't great. I mean, I think they did do a good job of discussing the complexities of the racial issues,
Yeah,
and the way that certain people reacted and things played out. But besides that, I don't know. I don't know how much more interesting it was. I mean, it was sad to see Homegirl be obsessed with celebrities and wanting to be one so badly.
yeah,
But I think that's a lot of people's reality today.
that's true.
Um, and I mean, I can't say what I want to really say, but F Donald Sterling. I mean, this
Yeah.
didn't change my view on him at all. It actually made me feel like F his wife too,
Oh, absolutely.
because I didn't know anything about the wife or their situation. None of that.
But it made sense once you watch it. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
everybody was out for self. I think the people that I felt most sorry for, or the people
Hmm.
that I felt sorry for at all, were the players because I felt like, and I even read about this too. Can't remember. I think it might have been Vulture that I was reading, but to be put in that position and then have to take a stance when this is not only your job and your livelihood, but just their their job is not just physical, but it's also like being in front of the public. Like they literally do their work in front of the public,
Yeah.
and to have to answer to public opinion when you're not even the reason this is happening, and in many ways it happened to them as well.
Right.
um I felt like it's such a weird position to be in, and I think most people of color, most black people probably have some sort of uh story or experience that they've had where they've kind of been in a compromising position where you know that it isn't right, but also in order for you to get what you need, you may have to be quiet or disengage in something, or you can't publicly speak out about it Uh, I know what that feels like. I'm sure you know what that feels like. I'm sure many people know what that feels like. So by the time it makes it to the public and everybody's like, well, y'all need to do this and y'all are not doing that, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to have to take on. So I did feel bad for them. Um, and I appreciated that Doc kind of allowed them to do what they wanted to do to some degree, because he even
I was gonna say
said,
more or less.
yeah, because apparently he was not happy with them turning their backs, and flipping over their um their uniforms, but he knew that they were going to do it, and he just, he didn't try to stop them. So
I think the opposite. But based, are you talking about something you read or in the show? Because in
something
the
I
show
read.
he didn't protest. Oh, because in the show he didn't protest at all. You're just like, nah, let's do something else.
Right. And that was basically what he said. I guess he basically came out publicly and said he knew what the players were going to do, but he didn't object to them doing it, but he also didn't participate because he didn't necessarily agree with the way they were handling things.
Well, I mean, that's fine. He don't wear a jersey.
Right. I'm not faulting him for it. I'm just saying, like, it was a weird spot for them to be in.
Everybody, yeah, the whole organization.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they wherever whatever hole they've crawled into, they can stay there. Him and his wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also like it's cool to give out the information, and there's a lot of these shows. Hulu usually does them well. I
Yeah.
was shocked that they didn't do so good on this one because, like, the OJ one was really good. Um,
Yeah.
the impeachment one was really good. To me, it's the Monica Lewinsky show, but the impeachment one was really good. So I was shocked that this one wasn't so great. I had higher expectations because they do these shows often and do them pretty well.
You mean FX?
FX, yes. Sorry.
Um, yeah, but it could also be a different production team because it's not the same show.
Right. That's
Those
true.
those particular shows were the same. Were on the
Oh
same
yeah, right, right. Because it's an American story or whatever it's
American
called.
crime.
That series. There you go.
Yeah. So I understand. Yeah, I thought so. I feel like a lot of great shows have come out of FX. So I too was expecting this to be um, a home run, but it wasn't, and that's okay. Listen,
Slam dunk.
a slam dunk. That's better. It's not always gonna hit, and that's fine. It was pretty boring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was really laser focused on it, but after episode 3 finished, it was just like.
Yeah,
I do want to say my last thought. Ed O'Neill, who played Donald Sterling, I had to look up his name because to me he's just Al Bundy.
right. I always forget.
Um, right. Uh, Ed O'Neill. It was interesting to see him play that type of character. Uh, I thought it was entertaining seeing him play that character.
Mhm.
That's it. That's my last thought.
It was. It was. I know people had issues with the acting. People felt like the acting wasn't great. I mean,
Right. Yeah, I've heard that.
my difficulty with that, yes, there's bad acting, but my difficulty with that sometimes is if we're acting like people who really exist, and I don't.
Right. What are we supposed to do?
Right. And I don't know what those people are normally like because I don't know what his wife is like and I don't know what that lady was like. I know she was on television, but I didn't pay enough attention to like really know what her voice was like or anything like that. So I feel like you kind of got to take it as it is, um, and not put too much stock into that. But yeah, that's my last
Gotcha.
thought.
All right. Well, our next topic is gonna hit home for me. I'll be honest. Uh, Lotto dropped a song called "Big Mama." We heard her perform. We heard her perform it a bit at the BET Awards,
Yep, she did.
and we didn't talk about it much.
Right.
So I went and watched the video. Did you watch the video?
I did.
I'm so glad you did because it would have sounded weird if only I saw the video. So, okay, I'm going to start with love.
Please.
Um, the camera work was great. Uh, I don't know if they used GoPros or if they just really did well with the cinematography, but there were all type of, POV angles. And at one point you see her homegirl with the selfie camera type of thing in the mirror. There were lots of camera angles here, and I appreciate that it was not your typical video when it comes to the visual of it all. There were lots of different cameras used here and lots of different camera work, and I think that's cool. It wasn't just a copy and paste video in that sense.
It was kind of like
Um,
it in that sense it reminded me of, damn, I can't remember the song now. What was the song with Sexy Red and Drake and SZA?
Rich Baby Daddy.
Rich Baby Daddy.
I see why you say that, but this was
Similar
more.
idea.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with the POV of it all.
Mhm.
I think the camera work was much better here, as that one hit its mark. They were aiming to come off as a home video with Rich Baby Daddy, and it did. Um, this one came more across like we're using GoPros and cool gadgets to do all of this different camera work, fishbowl lenses and different things.
Yeah.
All of that stood out. Money was spent. That stood out. I don't know what that first song was, but I was really confused by whatever that first song was that played because I was like, "That's not what I remember her performing at the BET Awards." I was really confused.
So what's interesting to me is that Spotify. So I watched the video. I noticed that too. That there was this first part, and then the beat changes. And maybe you could look this up. Spotify. When I went on Spotify and found the song, it says Big Mama second half. So I'm wondering if the whole song is Big Mama.
I'm heading over.
The reason I couldn't figure it out on my own is because I do not have Spotify Premium, and I didn't look
Okay,
anywhere else.
listen,
So,
don't worry. I am en route.
so it's not like we literally do have different Spotify accounts.
It's all right. Don't worry. Oh, so Big Mama is 3 songs. It says here. It says Big Mama. Then it says Big Mama first half only. Then it says Big Mama second half only. So let's see. Let me click on this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it.
So that's what the video starts with. Now I just pressed Big Mama and that's the first thing that played. That's 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Mhm.
Now let's see what happens if I press first half only. Okay, so first half is 1 minute 28 seconds. Second half is also 1 minute 28 seconds. Okay, so they took 2 songs and put them together. So Big Mama is really 2 90-second songs, I guess, because they're both.
One song.
Yeah. Okay, so this is weird and this is confusing to me.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, it seemed like the second half then is what she performed at the BET Awards.
Yeah,
Um,
which makes sense because that's where she actually says Big Mama.
right.
So tell
I
us what
have
you
mixed
thought.
feelings on this. Well, now that I know that, I have mixed feelings. I didn't know that prior.
Okay.
Um, yikes. All right, well, I'm gonna give you my initial thoughts, and then I'll say what I feel now that I see this Spotify thing. My initial thought was, whatever's this first song, I didn't need it. I wish it would have just started with Big Mama. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but also I was disappointed that when the beat did switch, we just got twerking and strippers and parties. Um,
Oh, well, I mean, it kind of checks out. Bless you, based on what she says in the song.
you said it evolved.
No,
What did you say? What?
I said it kind of checks out based on what she's saying in the song.
Yeah, yeah, no, it does, it does.
It
But
aligns.
that was kind of weird for me. I get it; it's a turn up song, but then my thing is, it don't really sound like a turn up song. Then,
It does.
like, it was weird. It didn't really match the energy, in my opinion. And I gotta be real honest. I don't want to hear this side of Lotto.
I
Um,
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I mean, I really like the beat,
of the second one or the first
not
one.
the second one. I like the beat. I just kind of wish that Lotto would have used the beat differently.
Yeah, it's weird. Like she's a skilled writer, and I didn't really enjoy this. I get the marketing side of it. We spoke about the girly rap and the way a lot of them are being positioned. But what I liked about Lada was that she didn't have that same positioning. So, but I get it. I mean, Big Energy was a specific type of record.
Yeah.
I just felt like, dude, I don't know. I'm conflicted because I feel like if you have the ability to do more, we should see more.
Mhm.
But I understand that she may not want to be classified as a rhapsody, which we might champion rhapsody, but the industry does not.
Mhm.
So I get the conflict. She's a young lady, and that's how they are doing things with the quote unquote girl rappers right now. But I was disappointed by that, and it was like, all right, this is it. I'm gonna be honest. It came more very very birdish to me, and I didn't like that. I was like, oh, okay, the super long nails, and then whatever. Your bikini bottom saying body was fine, but then like at another point, she was making sure we saw the panty part, and then like this, it
Yeah.
was weird. All the girls twerking on the stripper pole, the strip club, the ones being spread across her arm. I was like, what happened here? I didn't enjoy it. And people will probably say I'm an old guy, I'm a hater. Fine. I just feel like that's fine if that's what you feel. And if you'd enjoy the song, then you should play the song. I'm just saying that I think certain people have to do the gimmicky shit. Certain people have to do what they do in the industry because they don't write. They just have writers. And if they want to be successful and continue along the path that the label has put them on, then they have to do that. But I think Lotto doesn't fall in that category. I think Lotto is capable of more. And it's like, okay, so is this what we're gonna get? Like we're just gonna get the bird stuff all the time? I think it's corny, and I'm disappointed for Lotto.
I think I have mixed feelings because I think that it is summertime, and I think that you know it's the beginning of July. I expect to hear turn up records right now. Um,
Sure.
so I'm not necessarily mad at it because I think that Lotto is probably one of the few that has some sort of balance. Like she'll
Okay.
do the turn up record and she'll twerk a little bit, but she can also hold her own on other songs as well and like really show her talent. So while I understand that, that may not be if you're looking for the more experience, the less bubblegum or rap type of thing, then this is not
Well,
this
I'm not
is
even really talking about bars. I'm talking about the hypersexualization as
I'm
well.
no, I know what you mean, and bubblegum is probably not the right way to say it, but I just mean like the rap girls have there's a formula there. And the clothes, the dance moves, the up tempo beats. It's a thing. we've talked about it. We just talked about it last week. So I
Mhm.
totally understand like wanting them to get away from that, especially the ones who are super talented. But I also understand like wanting to put out a summer record, and
Sure.
that's all I felt like when I watched this. Again, I feel like the beat was, to me, was wasted, I guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't. That beat didn't really say turn up record to me,
it didn't, and I also feel like there's something else she could have done with that beat. Um,
including the Big Mama chanting part. Like that, you could still use Big Mama, Big Mama, Big Mama, Big Mama,
yeah,
and do a bunch of other stuff with it.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't really. It's cool. Like it's a fun record. I agree. I don't think that all the rap girls need to be hypersexualized. We talked about this last week. Um, but I'm also not surprised. Um, I think there was something very specific. There was a very specific message in this video, in this song, and
Yep.
you know. So yeah, I wasn't. we had we you and I, for the podcast, we kind of make a list of the music that we're going to cover beforehand, so we can obviously listen to it if we haven't. And I was not feeling it today. I felt like, okay,
Yeah.
this. I don't know
That
how to
was
react to this. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I just,
oh no, I'm not
it's
not
kind of
mad either.
like, it's just kind of like, okay, I get it. Um, I get it.
Yeah, I'm not mad either. I'm just disappointed. I feel like if you're capable of more, I'd like to see more.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like that she, like I said, I like that there's a balance to her work. Um, so I wasn't so disappointed as much as I was just like, oh, all right, I see what kind of record this is, and that's okay. Like, if I was out and having a good time, then maybe this is the thing that I would want to hear. I don't frequent clubs, but I guess if I went to one and this came on, like it would make sense to me. Um,
gotcha.
they give you the whole Miami experience in the video, so you know what type of time she was on with this
Well,
one. So yeah.
well, let's move on to our third and final topic.
Hmm.
Uh, so we don't really cover these kind of records, but I think this is worth discussing, and we spoke about it off pod a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a record that's hot in the streets by, I believe, a country artist whose
Hmm.
name is Shaboozey. And Shaboozey also performed at the BET Awards and brought out one of the people who was, I don't know how to phrase this. He brought out someone who was a star for a little bit when we were kids. When we were teenagers, there was a record called Tipsy by Jaquan. And this song is called A Song for the Bar or something like that. Hold on. I'll tell you the exact title,
Money
right?
in the club getting tipsy.
Right. So this is called A Song for the Bar, parentheses, Tipsy. And it's basically the country version of the song Tipsy. And so what I thought was cool is that the I'll say BET Awards and then Billboard Award came together there in my brain. At the BET Awards, Shaboozey brought out Jaquan and let him do a little bit of Tipsy. I thought that was cool. We actually forgot about that when we spoke about the BET
Yeah.
Awards, and so much happened. And anyway, all of that to say, this song is now a Billboard #1.
That's
I
great.
think that's really cool. Yeah.
That's
Let me see if I
cool.
can find which chart it's on. I don't even really think it matters. I just think it's cool that this is happening. I also think it's cool that uh, we got Jaquan again. Like Jaquan kind of resurfacing here
Yeah.
after all of these years.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I got a Billboard article here.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. Um,
Oh, it's just on the Hot 100. I thought it was like a country list or something.
no,
So it
that's
is currently number one on the Billboard Hot 100, marking his first leader on the list. That's Shaboozey's first time being a number one, having a hit on number one on the charts.
mhm,
It says the track currently rebounds from fourth week atop the Hot Country Songs chart,
mhm.
which uses the same methodology as the Hot 100. Previously, no song by a black man or one known to be biracial had previously topped both charts.
So, wow,
He's the second black artist overall to achieve that, following Beyonce Texas Hold'em earlier this year.
very cool. And I mean, Beyonce. I know people have their opinions about this, but one of the reasons why we're seeing more of Shaboozey and we're seeing more of other black country artists is because of Beyonce's country Cowboy Carter album. She featured quite a bit of them. Um, they are not new by any
Right.
means. They might be new to some of us, but they are
Yep.
not new. And you know, whatever people may think about it, she did kind of open up a lane for them, um,
Mhm.
in the sense that we don't see country artists perform on the BET Awards stage, and there
We
were
do.
two. It wasn't just Shabuzi. It was Tanner Adele, I believe her name is. Um,
Oh, okay.
she performed as well. So it's created this lane for them, which is kind of something that I know Beyonce mentioned at some point that she wanted to she wanted to platform them. And she has. I mean, or at least she's helped open up that lane so that people like me who never paid attention to country music and have no idea about country music and all the black country artists that are out there, I had no idea. Um, so I think it's pretty cool that we're getting exposed to some of these people who have been around, but um, maybe we didn't know about.
Right. Well, I want to take it off of Beyonce. Some of what you said I agree with, but I just think this is dope for Shabuzi and really dope for Jaquan. I wonder what's gonna happen next. I wonder will hip hop, work with Shabuzi moving forward or not? And also, will we see Jaquan again? I mean, he was kind of like a one-hit wonder and then disappeared. What's he doing nowadays? Like, does he work at Foot Locker? What's going on?
One
I want to know.
comes the two and the three and the four.
Right. Exactly. Now everybody in the club getting tipsy. Exactly.
What a time.
What a time.
Anyway, that's all we got for you guys. See you
That's it.
tomorrow.
Adios.
Bye.